Bali might seem like the perfect place to live, but as an expat, the reality is a lot different. In this video, I'm revealing 7 ugly truths that nobody talks about, that will directly affect you if you decide to live here in Bali. So if you're thinking of making the move, you need to see this first. So let's start with the obvious Bali belly. It's real, it happens to most of us. It's definitely one of the biggest negatives of living in Bali. And the problem with this is not only that it really sucks when you get it, it can be very violent, painful, and it can really suck and really mess up your energy and health. But also just the fact that you need to always worry about it, be a little bit careful with what you eat, and yeah, it's something that is always kind of in your mind, especially after you have get it once and it's really bad, then you kind of always worried about it. In Thailand, for example, there's not really such risk. Of course, you can always get food poisoning anywhere, but in Bali, it's more probable to get it more often and more bad. It's just about the hygiene and the water system and all that makes this situation here, which is, yeah, kind of bad. But yeah, you can still do a lot to avoid it. There's a list of things you should not eat and drink that are more risky. You shouldn't use the tap water even when you brush teeth and things like this. There's a typhoid vaccine you can get, so at least you're not going to get salmonella, which can be really bad here. And of course, there's also medicine you can take once you get it or to prevent it. There's a lot you can manage, especially when I lived here a long time. I used to struggle with this in the beginning, but nowadays, it's really rare for me to get something, and usually it's over very quickly. But it's still not optimal. It's not really nice to have this issue here. And the second one is pollution. It's not the worst in the world, but sometimes it can be a bit much. In traffic, it's pretty bad because there's so many scooters and cars and trucks with a lot of smoke. Sometimes this cloud of black smoke behind them. So yeah, sometimes it's pretty bad when you're driving around. But not only that, but every few months they're basically harvesting all the rice fields around here and they are burning all the crops after that. So there's this insane amount of smoke coming from those. So the air quality can get really bad. But that's only a couple times a year. But in these times like it is right now, it can get pretty bad, and it would be probably better to go to Uluwatu, for example, somewhere that it doesn't have all the rice fields, so at least you live further away from all the smoke. So Bali is definitely not the best place in the world for your lungs, but I have asthma and I haven't had any big issues even after 4 years of living here. So overall, I guess it's not really that bad. And by the way, please like the video and subscribe if you're liking the video so far. But yeah, the next one is traffic, and yeah, it's pretty bad. Everybody knows it, Bali is famous for it. You can avoid most of it when you stay in a nice area, but yeah, it's still not really relaxing to drive around even in the nice areas. And it will definitely give you some stress and often make you exhausted because the traffic is just so hectic. It's not only the in bad areas the traffic gets stuck and you stuck in traffic, which obviously sucks, but even in the good area that doesn't really happen. But still going somewhere that is only 5 to 10 minutes away, you don't feel relaxed, you feel a bit stressed, and yeah, it's overwhelming sometimes just how hectic it is. It's these tiny roads, it's really thin and there's not much space, there's a lot going on, there's trucks going here and there, scooters and cars and sounds and noises, it's just so much going on, dogs running on the sand pile on the road, holes in the road, a lot. So this is what makes it a bit stressful. In Thailand, you can just cruise often these big roads, often in the nature, and it's just so beautiful and relaxing. Here it's not like that at all. It used to be a little bit like that in Uluwatu, but nowadays even there it gets stuck a lot and there's a lot going on. So wherever you decide to stay, Ubud, Uluwatu, Canggu, or any of these areas, it's gonna be hectic. So overall, this issue is not so much about wasting time in traffic, but more of not having so peaceful and relaxing experience overall in this place when you live here long term. And by the way, if you're coming to Bali or Southeast Asia, check out my school community, the Nomad tribe. I have hundreds of videos explaining exactly everything you need to know, the best areas to stay, mistakes to avoid, how to move here and the visas and everything, and lots of insider tips you won't find on YouTube. Plus a community of like-minded people, so you will have a friend group from day one who got your back, and you can ask any advice on our exclusive WhatsApp chat and meet us in real life in the meetups. So if you want to skip the trial and error and surround yourself with people who get it, join us inside the Nomad tribe from the first link in the description. And now for a limited time you can get $50 off your lifetime membership of the Nomad tribe, so it's a perfect time to join. And the next thing is rainy season. It's not the worst in Southeast Asia, it's pretty manageable, but if you live here long term, it's definitely can bring some challenges. Flooding at worst and hard to get food delivered at least. But also in addition to that, why I don't really like to be here during the rainy season is just that the air is super heavy, like it's super humid, and when it's sunny finally after the rain, it's so hot. Like I remember being stuck in the traffic sometimes during the rainy season, it just feels like I'm literally melting, like it's so hot. And it even gets a little bit hard to breathe sometimes when it's so humid, so it's not only the rain, which is not all the time, so the rain itself is not the biggest issue in my opinion, it's more of the heavy air that makes me really tired and exhausted. And of course it's not nice to always feel sweaty, like the moment you come outside of the door it's already sweaty because it's so humid. And the fifth thing is money. So yeah, it can be very affordable in Bali, it's still famous for that, but at the same time you will probably spend more here than you would back home. This happens to most people, and yeah, the prices have been rising quite much the past few years. It's not close to European, US, Australian prices yet, but it's definitely getting a little bit closer with the accommodation and everything. It's not super affordable anymore. And when you go from making your own food back home to coming here and eating out all the time, ordering ice lattes every day or like this kind of thing, it can definitely get a bit pricey. Also, there's so many nice things to do here, so you end up spending way more on things like fancy wellness clubs, massages, going out, activities, lots of different trips. So lifestyle inflation is definitely real here. It happens to most people. But of course, your life at the same time is way more interesting, way more enjoyable. You're really living your life to the fullest here. So it's not all terrible, but it's just something to consider that you might spend a bit more than you expect here. But yeah, the next thing is healthcare. So yeah, the Bali clinics, they are pretty good for any like basic small issues. It's not really a problem. But for anything more serious, expats usually fly to Bangkok or Singapore to deal with it in better hospitals. So it's not really optimal, and health insurance is a non-negotiable here. There's a lot of accidents that happens in the traffic, and like, yeah, there's just a lot going on health-wise and accidents and all things like this. So you definitely need a good travel medical insurance, and the one I have been using for all these years is Safety Wing, and I would highly recommend it. It's pretty much perfectly designed for nomads and expats, so it really fits this lifestyle. They have an essential plan, which is pretty much enough for like travelers and like nomads in the beginning of the journey. I had it for years, and a year ago I upgraded to the complete plan, which is good for long-term nomads. So if anything more serious and long-term issues come along, you will be covered for everything. So yeah, I will also leave link in the description for this one. Make sure to not forget to get one. And the seventh thing is something that is not really talked about much, and that is the wealth gap and lack of integration. So yeah, while you might be super comfortable here earning your Western income and living life to the fullest here in Bali, at the same time, many Indonesian people work long hours for the fraction of the price you pay for your brunch every day. So it can feel a bit uncomfortable to see this huge contrast every day, and it can create a barrier. No matter how long you stay, you will probably never fully integrate to the local society. Most expats will end up socializing mostly with other foreigners. It's not really like the places we go. There's not many locals there. Only the people who work there are basically locals, but otherwise it's just full of foreigners, which can feel isolating or even guilt-inducing over time. But by the way, having a local partner here will help with this a lot. So they can teach you about the culture, about the language, and take you to places you wouldn't really go alone. And of course, many of us who live here long term are always trying to learn more about the culture, take part in it, and really like ask about things and go to places that are not so popular among expats. So yeah, you can definitely like do a lot about this, but it's still something that it's just a little bit in the air always. Like you go to these nice places where you pay basically more for gym membership that the people who work there are making per month situation. So yeah, it can be a bit uncomfortable. I feel like in some places like the Philippines, for example, is definitely like you're usually way more integrated with the locals. You hang out with the locals, you go to the same places as the locals. It's a bit different here. So yeah, there's a lot of issues here as anywhere. No place is perfect, but I would say a lot of these things become more problematic if you stay here full time. instead of just 2 to 6 months, a year. Basically my lifestyle when I'm staying here half the year when it's rainy season, I travel in Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, or like anywhere in the world that is not rainy season. I avoid a lot of these issues also by staying in a nice area and like optimizing my lifestyle for this kind of place. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits you can have in Bali. I have made a lot of videos explaining all the amazing things here, so you can check out those. But definitely I wanted to make this video so you can consider also the downsides, because they can be deal breakers for many people. So hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video and subscribe, and see you next week. And hope to see you inside the Nomad tribe.